pitch to the sideline, the calls that shape the game. Welcome to Excellence in Action, the referee show here on islandstats.com, where we dabble in the world of officiating, dissect the decisions, and celebrate the men and women in the middle. Join us each week as we chat with top officials, analyze controversial moments, and explore the challenges and triumphs of being a referee. Get inside perspective on the rules, the pressure, and the split-second judgments that can make or break a match. It's more than just whistles and flags, it's excellence in action. Now let's get to the show. And good afternoon and welcome to this edition of Excellence in Action. I'm your host, Earl Baston. Joining me is none other than Mr. Ivan Barton. First of all, welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon to everybody, and thank you for this opportunity.
Yes. Well, secondly, congratulations, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
Yeah. Let me first ask about being or getting a call and being accepted as an official for the FIFA World Cup. What does that mean to you on a personal note?
Well, so as I say, I want to say thank you again for this opportunity to Mr. Christian Williams and everybody that now is watching this interview. So sometimes it's very hard to try to define with only one word what it means for us as referees being selected for a World Cup. But of course that it's a dream come true, right? When we started long time ago, it was our major goal to be in the biggest event in football on the planet. So I'm very happy, but also it's important to say that very thankful, with a lot of gratitude with God, with all the persons that are involved in this process, and I just want to be there and enjoy as much as possible.
Yeah. One of the things I want to take you back, obviously, we always have to go back and give people a perspective of what it was like when you would have started. When you would have started, who was that person that kind of encouraged you to become an official?
So going back to my beginnings, let's say that my history was a little bit different, but because in general, when you ask referees how they started, they say that maybe some had a family member, right, that was a referee, maybe the father, a brother.
Right.
Another one's a friend who invite them at the moment to say, hey, do you want to be a referee? But in my case was a little bit different, because I remember that when I was in my college, I played football, of course, not professional level, but let's say a good player. But it was something inside me that, for example, when I went out in my neighborhood to play with my friends, the goals was two stunts,
Yes.
and every time was a difficult to decide if it's goal or not. Was the ball goes too high?
Yeah.
Is it goal or not? Or is this a foul or not?
Right.
And even when I was participating as a player, but I wanted to decide at that moment. And all the time it was very difficult, because the friend of mine started to argue against me, right? Why you want to tell us what we have to do? You are playing. So every time my mom say, okay, finish, come back to home, because you are going there not to play, just to fight. Okay, so one day I say to them, okay, today I'm going to play as a referee. I will be the referee. And I remember that I picked up 2 bags of snacks, one red, one yellow, and say to them, okay, today I'm going to be the referee. And from that moment, the way of how I watched the matches on TV was a little different, because all the time for me, the figure of referee was somebody that inspire respect, authority, personality. And from that moment, I started to officiate matches, not professional level, of course. And then myself trying to find for a referee school here in my city. And then at that moment in CONCACAF, Benito Armando Archundia from Mexico, still active. Joel Aguilar Chicas from my country, also still active. And these two referees, for me, were two special kind of management in matches, because they they had a very, let's say, strong personality and a
Yes.
way to manage the matches that I really like. For example, also at that moment in Europe, you have a Lubos Mitchell from Czechoslovakia. For me, was an amazing referee. Dr. Markus Mer from Germany. Urs Meyer from Sweden. And Ander Fries from Switzerland. You remember Ander Fries was a referee that one day he was officiating at the Olympic Stadium in Rome.
Yeah.
And he was hit by a coin, that a fan throw a coin and hit him
Right. Yes, I remember
face
that. Yes.
and
Yes.
blowing a lot. So in a Champions League game, so all these referees for me, they were a role model, because they're strong personality, how they manage the matches, and of course they inspire me at my beginnings.
So from the backyard to the World Cup,
Yeah, that's right.
how does that sound for you? Because you've been on the journey. It's been your journey. But for someone to understand that you started amongst friends having a kick sort of thing.
Right.
And now you'll be managing 22 players on the biggest stage in the world. When
Yeah.
you think about that and you look at who you were back then, who you are now, what
Yes.
does that say to you?
So sometimes you even can't believe it. To tell you a history, in Qatar 2022, for example, I remember when I didn't know that if I said at the moment I am going to officiate a match or just to be for official. I was a little worried about what is going to happen. And then finally I received an appointment to blow the whistle. And I remember very well when we were standing with my assistant, just 30 seconds before going into the pitch to start the match. And at the tunnel, there was two big TVs, two big screens,
Yes.
and they were broadcasting all the ceremony before the match. And then suddenly they put us
On the screen?
live, like at the tunnel, and I say, "Wow, I'm here now," and I start to be very, very nervous. Believe me,
Right.
very, very nervous. But those nerves last only 5 meters, because when I start to going upstairs, because there were some like 12 stairs
Uh-huh.
to go inside the pitch, the nerves disappear.
Ah.
And at that moment, I remember myself officiating my first matches in the pitches of. We say polvo in Spanish. It's like dirty, right?
Right.
And for me, it was unbelievable, because I say how my journey is arriving to at the biggest stage of football. And now that I have my second opportunity, it's very, very special. A little bit different, of course, because now it's not the first, will be the second. Of course, I feel the pressure on my shoulders, right? Because when you go to a World Cup and officiate, let's say 3 matches, So now, what is coming now? Because everybody's expecting from you more than your first World Cup. But at the same moment, I say to everybody, I don't want to put pressure in myself. It's not necessary. All the pressure that referees that we have as a referees is enough. So I don't want to put pressure on myself. What I want to do is to arrive to the World Cup, arrive to Miami, and enjoying from the very first day. Enjoying as much as possible. Now with more experience, I go back to my memories in Qatar, and I say, maybe at that moment I needed to enjoy a little bit more, right? To enjoy every moment, to enjoy the time when you are having lunch or dinner or breakfast with your friends, to speak each other, to know better each other, even enjoy the moment when you are being translated from the hotel to the stadium, from the hotel to trainings, enjoying the
Right.
training. All these kind of things, then it comes to you, but when you are getting more experience, right?
Right.
And but I am very happy and very very thankful with gratitude with God for giving me this opportunity because also I'm still young. Let's say I'm still young.
Right.
I feel that I am very old now in refereeing. When everybody asks me, no, I feel old because I started very very young. When
Right.
I officiated my first match in my neighborhood, I was only 14 years old.
Wow.
Then I officiated my first game in first division when I was 21, and then 10 years, exactly 10 years later, when I was 31 years old, I blow the whistle in Qatar 2022. So for me, it's now a long journey, right? Even when I
Yeah.
still young, I'm 35 now, but even when I still young, I feel that it's a whole life in football, in
Yeah.
refereeing.
Well, let me ask you because the journey to Qatar was one thing to become an official and to be selected, but to maintain that over a 4-year period to be recognized and picked again, what has that journey been like for you?
Well, as a referee, when we have a performance in any tournament or seminar, we know if we did well, not so well, or bad. We know. And when Qatar 22 arrived to the end, I say, okay, I think that I performed well. I did a very good job, so I have a very good chances to get involved in the process and to get a ticket to go to the next one. So I started to work, but I don't know why, but it's not only in refereeing. It happened to a lot of professionals for example, let's talk about players or any kind of sport that when you arrive to a, let's say, very high in the mountain, so then at some point, the only way to go is to go a little down, right?
Yes, yes.
And it's part of life. And I remember that my next game after the World Cup was in the Club World Cup in Morocco. So January 2023. The tournament name was Club World Cup 2022, but was playing January 2023. And I had one of my more difficult games in my life. It was Al Wida Casablanca against Al Hilal from Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
The language barrier was a problem because, okay, I speak some English, not so good, but then they didn't understand English. Uh, was very difficult match, and I remember, and I really thank you because answer your question now is not only about you. It's not only about me. It's also about the people who are around me. Because if I don't have the correct people at the correct moment, the correct leadership, then it becomes very difficult. You can have the qualities, but if you are not the correct leadership, then maybe you will lose. So at that moment, Mr. Colina spent half an hour having a conversation with me about what happened at that match, you are coming from Qatar, doing an excellent job. Then this match not so good. So then I had another difficult games, and I have to be honest. I started to go a little bit down, right?
Right.
But then I say, okay, I need to do something. I need to do something. I need to go, as Mr. Peter Prendergast says in Jamaica, you need to go back to the lab and start to analyze. Okay, so what is coming next? When I'm coming from, and when I want to go. But what I have to do, something needs to change. So it's not about what we did, because I will try to translate this, but in Spanish we have a say that it says, you are good, you are very good as your last match, as your last
Yes.
game.
Yes.
Nobody,
You're only as good as your last match.
yes, nobody will remember Qatar, for example. Nobody will remember that.
No. No.
So every time we need to be asking ourselves, what can I do? What can I do to be better? And sometimes we didn't do because we think that we need to do or to be a big steps to do things that are big. But no, every day we can do a small thing that is even a detail, but keep you in the mindset that every day you need to put yourself in question, right? In discussion, put yourself in discussion. So this is one of the most difficult parts, believe me, because it's not easy. It's not easy to be focused mentally, because we are not only referees.
Right.
For example, in the Caribbean, in Central America, we have something in common that is that we are not really professional. Really,
Right.
and I mean really professional, because we don't have a salary. We are not fully time referees, right?
Right.
We
Right.
need to find another ways to live, to survive. Then we
Mm-hmm.
have our jobs beside referees. We have our families. I have 2 kids. So this is one of the most difficult part. But if you really want to achieve the goal to be there again, so you need to fight. You need to fight. You need to maintain yourself motivated day by day. So now I say to my friends, I don't want anybody, for example, telling me, okay, how many matches you expect to do at World Cup? Because it's not about that. I mean, if they give me one, I will officiate this game as my World Cup final.
Right. Right.
And then it's not my call to say I will officiate this amount of matches, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you with what you just said, you basically hit the nail on the head, because you have to find that love for the game again when
Right.
things are not going good, and sometimes it might be outside the game. You just have to. That's what was bringing you joy, and then you have to just bring it into your game. But yeah, I mean, whoa. What do you remember most about the? I'm going to take you to the 2019 FIFA Under 17 World Cup in Brazil. What do you remember most about that?
Oh, it's a very special one. Very, very special one. 2019 was an amazing year for me, because in refereeing was unbelievable, because I started the year going to the under 20 World Cup in Poland
Mm-hmm.
as a support referee, as a fourth official.
Yes.
I enjoyed that match a lot, and also I learned from that travel to don't eat duck, because I ate duck, and in the airplane, and then
Uh-huh.
I spent 1 week. It was a nightmare, but going back to football, I really enjoyed that tournament. Uh, Poland, the city, the name of the city is Sopot, a beautiful city.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went to the Gold Cup in the summer. My first Gold Cup in my second year as a FIFA referee, and I officiated semi-final, United States against Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
and then I went to the under 17 World Cup in Brazil, and For me, at that moment, I say, okay, I'm a referee from El Salvador, a very small country in CONCACAF. What can I expect from this tournament? And at some point, I was honest with myself, and I said, okay, maybe I will receive only one match, and it's okay. I will be very happy with one match. I will officiate this game as my final, and then if I go home after the match. I will go happy. I will go happy. And I did my first game was Chile against France. The game was very difficult because it was my first match in a FIFA tournament. Because
Right.
there is some difference sometimes.
Yes.
From officiate a match in your in your country, then difference with your confederation, and there's of course some difference with FIFA. And also the weather was very hot, but at the end I have a penalty kick. I call a penalty kick.
Right.
VAR give me check complete. Then we check the situation. Was a very difficult one, and after that situation, I commit a mistake. It was a situation, was a foul.
Right.
I let the play on, and then the attacker play a kick, and the ball hit the crossbar. If the ball goes inside the net, I don't know. maybe only one match for me. But God is referee. God is referee. But nothing happened. And then at the debriefing, everybody, of course, instructors talk about the dynamic, the disposition, to give our best, the good penalty kick that I call it.
Right.
Then I have my second game, Spain against Tajikistan. That I learned something very important in that match, because of course Spain, I speak Spanish with Spain, but then Tajikistan they speak a language that is very difficult. I try to speak English with them, but they don't understand. But I still speak in Spanish with Spain. At that moment, I didn't realize that in the match for the players, they feel like kind of not too fair, right?
Right.
Like balance. And Mr. Colina, again, with a lot of wisdom, give me the advice and the indication. When you have two teams, that one team speak your language, but another team doesn't speak your language, you go and speak English with both, even when a team speak your language. Because this is about be fair, right? I'm telling you different moments, different special moments, right?
Yes, yes.
Give me a lot of flair. But then the most important moment in that tournament, of course, was that I was appointed to officiate a semifinal, a big match, because it was Brazil, the local against France. It's a big match. Brazil was losing 2-0.
Right.
And then they did a comeback and win the match 3-2. An exciting atmosphere. But let me tell you that when I was traveling for that match, my son was was born.
Oh,
wow. At that exactly moment when I was traveling from one city to officiate this match. So I missed the born of my son. Was very tough. But at the same time, this is one of the skills and qualities that referees must have, and is try to separate different kind of situation, different kind of emotions, even if these emotions are positive or negative. But then you need to put aside in the corner.
Right, yeah.
You need to go and concentrate on your match. So it was one of the most special tournament, because I think that this opened the door for me with FIFA to be a trustable referee for them, to be in the process with them, and now, let's say how many years? Almost 7 years after, right?
Yeah.
7 years after, thanks God, I'm going to my ninth FIFA tournament.
Oh wow. Wow. Earlier you talked about challenging matches and so forth.
Yep.
One of those challenging matches, 2003, Mexico, United States. That just
Oh,
those two teams on the pitch by itself creates all sorts of challenges for anyone. Do you
oh,
remember that match?
yeah, the four red cards. Of course, I remember.
You were busy handing out several cards,
Yeah.
but
In,
four red cards.
in our mind, always the most difficult matches will be there. It's very tough. It's very hard to let these matches go, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. That was a very difficult one. Remember that when we initiated this conversation, I was telling you about Joel Aguilar Chicas from my country. One of the skills that I always admire from 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 Joel was the way that he managed the matches, the most difficult matches. The nickname at that moment in CONCACAF for them was the fireman, the firefighter, because every hot matches Joel Aguilar, and this was one of these matches. Of course, was not my first time officiating this game, Mexico United States. Was not my first match between these two national teams, but in that tournament, one of the teams was passing through a very hard situation, no good
right.
results, press and fans pressure them a lot. So the atmosphere also at the stadium was very, very tough,
Yes.
because you feel at that moment that both fans from both teams was like having some very difficult moment with them. And this atmosphere from fans, and also the atmosphere of one of these teams that at that moment they were under pressure, all this situation brings to the pitch, to inside the
Yes.
pitch. And I
Yes.
feel from the very beginning of the match, because I was trying to do my best, trying to be there, to be close of the situations, to try to call the foul, so don't let the match grow, don't let the
Spill out,
temperature grow.
right.
But then they were like, they don't care. They happen. And it was very difficult because, okay, two red cards for each team. I remember one of that red card in front of my assistant number two. Somebody from the stands throw me a cup with beer.
Ah.
But I don't know how he managed to do it. But when this cup hit my chest, was
Uh-huh.
full of beer, full of beer.
Oh.
So all the way, didn't lose any drop of beer. And then it crashed in my chest, all the beer in my face, and I said, "What I'm doing here?" In trying to go back to the match. Okay, I need to embrace this moment, and even when it's difficult, but okay, be in the match. And but I learned a lot from that game, and also even when it was a difficult game, we tried to do our best, to give our best, to be in every situation. We received the support of our instructors, our assessor, the support of our boss at that moment. That already the boss at that moment was Nicola Rizzoli, that still been our leader. And this was very important for me, because from the very moment when I arrived to the locker room, they were there supporting me, and this was very, very important, because otherwise you don't know how they're going to react. It will hit you, a lot, or if you will be able to let it go this situation. And for that reason, I was telling you that it's not only about me. It's also about all the people, all these important people that is always there behind the scenes,
Right.
trying to give you the correct words at the correct moment. And their support, it's one of the most important parts on this success of our career.
Yeah. When you talk about somebody behind the scenes, I brought in Mr. Williams.
Mr. Christian Whelan, how are you?
I am good, sir. How are you? Good afternoon.
I'm very well, thank you.
Thank you.
Well,
very
Mr.
much.
Williams, we have Mr. Barton here.
FIFA two-time World Cup referee.
Okay.
Thank you.
Two-time.
I've been listening, Mr. Barton. You have a very, very wealth of knowledge and some very great experiences. I don't think any of our referees have experienced anything like that. I don't think.
Thank you, but you know, it's I mean, it's very for me. It's also very special. Try to share this experience with the referees with you because at the end, I remember also when I start my career, referees talking about histories, about experiences, about situations, and these moments motivate me at that moment a lot to still trying to achieve my goals. So it's also special for me. Also, it's not only about the people about you that are listening. Also for me, this is important. This moment, try feel this that I'm sharing my experiences that somebody maybe for somebody will be very helpful to listen one of these histories. So this is also a very special moment for me.
I just want to say from the referees committee and the referees here in Bermuda, thank you very much for coming on the show to share your experiences. We wish you nothing but success at the World Cup.
Thank
And
you.
you know, we've been talking about you coming to visit for quite a while. So I will wait till after your exploits at the World Cup. Then you can meet Earl in person. You can talk to him live and direct here in Bermuda.
Perfect. Thank you. Will
No problem
be
at
my
all.
pleasure and thank you for the opportunity.
No
Uh,
problem.
I know Mr. Williams has just said we want to wish you all the best, but I want to echo that. Wish you all the best. Have the most fun you can with everything you already talked about. You want to have more fun going to the games. Spending with friends and being at the games. Just remember
Right.
those. That puts you in the best space you could be in to officiate anything or do anything in life. So I want to wish
Right.
you all the best and have the best fun you can at a FIFA World Cup. The only referee smiling, and people be asking, why is he smiling?
Yep.
Thank
Because
you.
he's having fun. All
Thank
right.
you so much.
Thank you. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you. Mr. Williams,
Yes, sir.
I want to thank you very much. I've thoroughly enjoyed spending time with Ivan here and going from what we would call Bakaton to the FIFA World Cup.
Yep.
So that's just even more ammunition for our young people that want to get involved in officiating. It don't matter where you start; it's how you apply yourself and where you take that journey. Okay.
Right.
Agreed.
All right. Well, enjoy the rest and good luck, Ivan.
Thank you. Ciao.
Okay.
All right.
All
Thank
righty.
you. Bye bye.